Hello. Well, today I am going to respond to the YouTube Pagan Challenge Week 8. I don't remember the exact wording of the question, but what it comes down to is, do we have a matron goddess or patron god, and how did we find them? And so I'm going to respond to that, starting with the goddess. And I must say, this is such a personal question. I don't mean personal as in, it's my secret, I can't share it with you. What I mean is that for individuals, it could be sacred. Because what greater thing is there than finding your own deity? I mean, it's very personal, very sacred, and very special. And so I'm kind of glad to share it here with you. I remember when I first started on my pagan path, actually, sorry, my dog had a bath today, and so there's like hair flying everywhere. When I first, let's say, realized that I was pagan, because I think I've always been on the path, I just didn't know there was a label to it. But when I first did, like so many others, I wanted to be able to say, I have a goddess, or goddess and god, or whatever, and I didn't know how. And I hear this from a lot of people, that it's like, well, do I pick one out of a book? Do I wait and somebody's going to come down and call me? I don't understand. And I did a lot of research, a lot of reading, video watching, everything you can think of to learn about the mythos. Please stop. She's so noisy sometimes. I don't know if you guys watch Tiflwyn Penry. She is the Celtic witch from Wales. Funny, you got to watch her. She is so good and so inspirational. But she always hears her dogs and says they're being noisy, and it's like, I barely ever hear them. When I review my videos afterwards, I realize she actually is noisy. So come here, let me introduce you real quick. Come here, come on, come on, come on up, come on up, come on. Okay. She's not as fluffy looking as normal. Look over here, because she just had a bath, but this is Taylor. Look over here. I call her Totem because she's my guide. Get it? Ha. So, okay, go away. Go lay down now. Go play. Thank you. But, I'm hoping that maybe with all of us sharing how we got and found our matrons and patrons, that newbies watching this will be able to realize that they're not alone in the search, and maybe get some inspiration on how to find theirs, because I think everybody does things differently, and it depends on how it's going to work. I don't know if you could just say, I'm going to go get one. But sometimes it works that way, sometimes it doesn't. Everybody's got different stories, and that's what makes it beautiful. For myself, I did a lot of learning. I needed to educate myself on all the mythos of all the deity out there. And some of them I thought were very, very interesting and intriguing and beautiful, and some of them I can't think of exactly who at the moment, but I remember some of them were like, oh, well, not for me. But none of that really mattered, I don't think, when it came down to it. And I have it recorded somewhere. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember one time creating Sacred Space, and I don't know if I had actually asked the question, maybe orally, maybe in my mind, but maybe I was just concentrating on that. I wanted to find someone for me. And that's when I found her. She came to me, and I recognized her, I knew who she was, but I didn't understand why she came the way she did. Because even though I had tried to educate myself, somehow I had missed one aspect of who she is. And so Caradwyn is who came to me, and she came to me at first in the form of a young girl, not really young, but, beautiful, wistful, long, cascading, reddish blonde hair, golden, really, shining and beautiful. And then she fluidly aged, and became statuesque and imposing is coming to mind, but she wasn't imposing. She was very comforting and regal, and her hair was up, and it was a little darker, and it was up into like a bun, and just looking right into me. And then she continued aging fluidly again, very smoothly. She just kind of went down a little hunched and aged some more and became the crone. And I did not know at that time that she was a triple goddess, so that's what confused me. But I later learned that, and it's like, okay, that's why. But I did recognize her. I knew who she was. She had told me who she was. There was no question on it. It was just, I don't think there's words to explain how special that first contact, first meeting was, and it kept going back and forth smoothly from the young maiden to the mother to the crone, and then reverting back again. And it was really telling me that she was all three, and that I also was all three, that I had all three within me. And it was just very, very special. So that is how I found her. But I've also since learned, and you may have heard me say that I've had communication with another goddess, and I have a relationship there too. She is not my matron, but we are close. We have a relationship. Let's just put it that way. And it was not one that I looked for, because part of me was like, well, I already have a goddess. I don't need another one. And then you hear people talking, oh, well, no, you can't work with this if you've got someone. You don't need to be jumping around. And I don't think it is that way. And even just very recently, I read an article by Patty Widgington, which you may have heard of. She's online all over the place, so you can find her. And she wrote an article about things pagans should not do. And one of them was about pagans who come from a Christian background, a monotheistic background, thinking, oh, I can only honor one God or whatever. And we bring that into our polytheistic paths, and it's like, why? There's no reason. And that's really true. What I was doing a while back, I was doing a ritual, and I'm solitary at the moment, but I was doing a ritual, and I was talking to Caradwyn, and I was not thinking about it, but I said Caradwyn and the Morrigan, and I just stopped. I'm like, why did I say that? Oh, well, okay, it's okay to say, okay, all right, that's fine. I didn't even realize that I was bringing her in, but I was constantly getting pushed. I needed to bring her in, and it's okay. And I think a lot of us think that we can't, but you can do what's right for you, and they know what's right for you and what's right for them, and they're not going to say, no, you only talk to me and not another, because that's not That's not our gods and goddesses. I don't think that I would honor somebody that was so selfish. Another story. Okay. Let me move on to the god, the patron. Do I have one? No. It's not completely for lack of trying. I have researched them just as much as the goddesses, and I have never gotten a connection. I find some fascinating, but I've never gotten a connection. And that's okay. For me, for now, that's okay. But mainly, I'm just hoping that this message will get out, and I want, especially newbies, to watch all of the answers on this. Everybody's, because there's so many different ways people have found deity and are still working to find deity. And don't think that you have to do it the right way. You do your way, okay? So just take what you can, and that's all you need to do. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, and I just want to leave you with the thought that true vision does not come from the eyes. It comes from within. So, blessed be.